Wait. Christopher, did Christopher want to work on already have another agent or Jay? I'm sorry. Maybe I heard wrong.
It was Jay.
Jay, okay, Christopher, can you be the client?
Sure. Jay, I really appreciate you reaching out. But we already have an agent, man. He helped us buy the house a while back, and we plan on using him.
Got
Thanks.
it. Got it. Many sellers nowadays they have an agent. They've done business with an agent, but they're also taking the time to interview multiple agents before deciding who to list the home with. I guess I'm curious, when you when that agent helped you previously, was that the only agent you talked to, or had you interviewed multiple agents before you decided to hire them?
Well, he was the agent that helped us buy the house. So he came as a referral from a good friend, and he did a great job. So
Hmm.
just felt like he might do a good job at selling our house, and repay him for a great job he did when finding us this home.
Got it. If you don't mind me asking, when you do decide to sell this house, where are you moving to next?
We're staying in the city. We're just upgrading into a four-bedroom. We're running out of space here, but we got to stay in the city because the kids still go to school here.
Got it. So it sounds like you want to get more space. And how important is this move to you, getting more space?
Yeah, I mean we're kind of tight here. I'm currently working out of the living room. I prefer an office. One of the kids needs a room too, so we need a 4 or 5 bedroom.
Hmm. Got it. So I guess it sounds like it is pretty important. You mentioned space is tight now. I guess being that, it is a bit of an inconvenience as far as space, how soon do you want to make the move happen?
Um, well, we can make the move now, just because we're not really interrupting or moving the kids out of school, so they'd stay in the same schools. So it'd really just be something we'd have to work on in terms of moving everything in and out.
Hmm. Okay, got it. So I guess what I'm hearing is sooner rather than later.
We're flexible. We're
Okay.
flexible. To be honest, today's interest rates aren't really helping.
Okay. With that being the case, again, many sellers, they're taking the time to interview multiple agents before deciding who to hire. I understand you have a previous relationship with him. At the same time, I'm also aware that you don't owe him anything, you don't owe me anything, but you owe yourself the best. And many sellers, they're taking the time to interview multiple agents to compare price, commission, as well as the service that's being provided. Now, all I'm asking for is an opportunity. Christopher, you're the employer, I'm the employee. I would love to show you what I have to offer. When would you be free?
Yeah, look, I appreciate the attempt. I just really, I wouldn't know what to tell this guy if I tell him no.
Hmm. I see. So I guess it sounds like you feel like you owe him in a way because, he helped you buy. And then, hypothetically, let's say you decide to go with another agent. I guess you feel like you're sort of obligated to use his services. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, no way.
Okay. Right. You know, you haven't signed a contract with him, right?
No.
Okay. With that being the case, then, you're not tied to him at all. All I'm asking for, Christopher, is just 15 minutes of your time, right? I'll show you what I have to offer. Hey, look, if you don't like it, you can just kick me out of the house. How does that sound?
Um, I don't know. Let me talk to my wife about it and see how she feels.
Okay. I guess since we mentioned your partner, how does she feel about the move? Is she also on the same page?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Being that she's on the same page, you have someone as excited as me. Look, I want to help you, Christopher. I'm very passionate. I want to help you with this move. Wouldn't she at least want to hear a different opinion? Because I'm not asking for any signatures. I'm just asking for an opportunity.
I'm really not sure. It was her friend that recommended the last realtor.
Hmm.
So I'm not really sure how she would feel about it. That's right. I think I need to see how she feels and whether she'd entertain another realtor or not.
Okay. I guess when is she typically free? Are you guys usually home in the evenings together?
Yeah, of course.
How about I stop by, tomorrow at, let's say, 6:30 after you guys finish work. I'll be in and out of your hairs in 15 minutes. I want to show you what I have to offer, Christopher.
Um, Man, I really don't know. That'd be a surprise. Why don't I ask her and see if that'd be okay? And we maybe try to schedule it for maybe the following day or the following week or something.
Sure, sure. And then this is where I get stuck.
Oh, that's an easy one, Jay. Just go ahead and say, yeah, you can certainly do that. Why don't we tentatively book Thursday at 5 o'clock this week and talk to her overnight, and then I'm gonna go ahead and follow up. Say if it's great with her, let's go ahead with the appointment. If not, we can always reschedule. How does that sound to you? And then book the appointment, right? So I think that's a good one. An easy one to get over. First of all, Jay, we're just really proud of you. I mean, how old are you now?
I'm 21.
21. You started role playing with us when you were 17. So, kudos to you starting to make sales. So, it's good to see you back here. But I wanted to get from Christopher's point of view. Was it compelling enough or not compelling enough for you to meet with Jay?
That's what I felt. That's why I didn't want to keep pushing for the appointment.
Yeah, so the only reason I kept giving him objections was because I didn't feel compelled. It didn't feel like there was any. I recently listened to somebody and in the real estate industry, and it sounded a lot like what he was explaining in the sense that you didn't give me anything that I didn't think I could get from the guy that I'm already going to meet with, except for the fact that I might have some emotional hardship in bringing you on board. So you didn't give me a way out or a way to at least, like the way that Jose brings it up is like, listen, maybe you love what I have to hear and you hire me. Maybe you hate it, or maybe you love what I have to hear and you just tell you the guy that you're going to hire anyway. At the very least, you get at least a second opinion, which is probably a great idea for a business decision, don't you think? Something in that way. Like I definitely haven't perfected it.
I would say, Christopher, you
like,
specifically, you want to be able to handle the other agent, how you were feeling about the other agent. Is that correct?
Repeat that.
You want him to handle specifically how you felt about the other agent.
Yeah, it just felt like he was still trying to get his way in rather than understanding the position.
So you didn't feel heard. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like to me, Jay, that was for Christopher anyway. The reason why he wasn't feeling compelled because he wasn't feeling heard. You just kept pushing on what I wanted to show you. I'm passionate. I'm really passionate about showing you what I can do. All I'm asking is an opportunity, and all that sounded like was what, Jay?
Well, there's no value. Like sometimes it works. Like when I call these leads, like sometimes it works. But I notice most of the time, they have another agent. It doesn't work.
Because it was about? Who was it about?
It's about me.
Yeah.
Yeah, where was the value add? Like, there was no USP. I just see this a lot in a lot of agents and make a, hey, does your agent have a guarantee in place? Did he, I can sell, did your agent have a guarantee in place? I'll guarantee to sell your home or I'll pay your mortgage until it sells. Something along those lines, giving a value add. Another thing, is maybe to touch on is, hey, he helped you buy the home, but is he a listing specialist? And I don't even like to use that word listing because it's realtor speak rather than, human being speak. But, say, you had to, give him some kind of value add to the conversation. You definitely, like you said, you identified it was me, but them. What can you offer of value? And I see a lot of us as agents, myself included, sometimes miss that point of what is the value add that you bring to the table? Guaranteed sale, something along those lines that sets you apart. And don't be afraid to use a guaranteed sale USP. because you write the terms of that guarantee.
That's a great point. Thank you. Thank you, Thomas. Arlene, put your hand up. Did you put your hand up? Arlene?
Yes,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
yes. Yeah, what
Um,
would you like to add to this conversation?
I'm kind of confused. Why would he continue when the person says that I already have an agent? Why would you continue to pursue that?
Yeah, I already have another agent. Sometimes might be a smoke screen. Sometimes, there may be another agent, but how committed are they? Right. So we want to be able to handle that objection because, in my market anyway, there's 15,000 other agents that are competing against me. And so I want, if I could say something that's compelling enough for me to get the opportunity to get in front of them, and my listing presentation is, light years ahead of the other guy, I know I can get the contract signed. Right. But if you can't handle this objection to get in front of them, you're never going to get an opportunity to get the contract signed. So that's what we're working on here. So don't stop when you hear that objection next time. Use these objection handlers. Okay. So yeah, Arlene, next time when you hear that, don't give up. At the very least, would you be open to a second opinion? Most savvy sellers or buyers out there are interviewing 2, if not 3 agents for the job of selling or buying their home to make sure that they get the best agent for the job. I mean, you'd want to get the best option for selling your home, wouldn't you? Right. So something like that. I mean, there's a million ways to handle it, right? But I think Jay just demonstrated a few, and Thomas just shared some, and then Christopher shared that basically you have to handle the concern about the other agent. So, this is great practice, great insights for Arlene for sure. So now, Arlene, you can get more appointments now. Okay. All right. Who else? Or Christopher, what are you working on?
Actually, the objection that I've been getting is I don't want to sign a 6-month contract. I want to do 30 days and then see what happens.
Yeah. Okay.
I really
Great.
don't know how to bounce back from that.
So yeah, you're at the listing presentation at the table type of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or even prior to when I'm pre-qualifying, they ask me that question. And while my contracts have a 0 cancellation fee,
Yeah.
I normally don't have a problem selling, but these happen to be condos that are taking a really long time to sell, and they're very difficult right now.
Yeah.
And it's pretty clear that the days on market is way above 30 days.
Yeah. So I mean, the way I'd handle it is, Christopher, my company policy is actually 6 months for our contract. But here's what I can guarantee you. You'd like a guarantee, wouldn't you? The thing is, if after the first 2 weeks, Christopher, if you're not absolutely blown away on my customer service, and ensure that you're confident in my abilities to get the home, to get the condo sold, you can cancel the contract anytime with no cancellation fees. How does that sound to you?
That sounds like it might work.
Yeah, so why don't we do this? Let's go ahead and sign the contract at 6 months, and we'll go week by week, right? And if you're not absolutely satisfied, Christopher, just let me know, right? And then you can cancel the contract. Well, I'll give you an unconditional release. Sound fair?
Sure.
Okay, let's go ahead and sign the contract.
So I guess from my perspective as the agent, if I can't, like, how do you reconcile, and how's your discussion with the client about that time frame? Because it's still unrealistic. So let's say the week or 2 comes by and you don't have a contract yet.
No. You're not trying to sell the home. You're just trying to make sure that they're confident in your abilities to get the home sold. But ultimately, you still have to show them, listen, the average days on market for this type of condo is beyond 6 months. Right? But that's logic. The emotion here is that they want to feel safe with you. So how do you make them feel safe is that we have a no fee cancellation policy. Right? At any point in time, you can cancel with me if you're not absolutely satisfied with my services. That's to make them feel safe. But ultimately, logically, what I'm showing you is these condos take more than 6 months to sell. So you're going to have to earn your keep, so to speak.
Yeah.
But at least get the contract signed for 6 months. And then if you do a shit job, yeah, you're going to get fired. That's all.
Sure.
I've gotten so many contracts signed that way, and they always go beyond 30 days. Just trust me on this.
Yeah.
All right. Try next time.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right. Who else? We got Matt. We got Scott. What do you guys want to work on?
I'd be down to role play if somebody wants to.
What do you want to work on?
I mean, I guess expireds.
Expires. Okay. Jay, you want to be the client?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm the agent, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Who am I working with? I'm sorry.
Me.
Jay Shi.
Hello.
Jay, hey, how you doing? Okay. Ring ring.
Hey.
Yeah, hi. Is Jay available?
Yes.
Jay, hi, this is Scott. I am a local realtor. Hey, the reason for my call today, I noticed that your house on 123 Banana Street was recently taken off the market due to an expired listing. I was calling to see if your goal and objective was still to sell this property.
No. We're not gonna sell it anymore. You're like the 10th person that's called us today. We're really sick and tired of these phone calls.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm sure you knew that your house came off the market yesterday as an expired listing. And I'm sure you're getting sick of being bombarded. So I will be sure to take you off my list, Jay. So, yeah, I understand you've been bombarded with phone calls today. I will be sure to take you off my list, Jay. Now, I'm just curious before I go, your house is super nice. It's in a great geographic area. When you first had it on the market, was there any particular reason you were even considering selling it?
I don't know.
You didn't, no particular reason? You just put it on there?
Yeah.
Okay. Was there somewhere you were hoping to move to?
If we get our price.
Okay. Did you already have a destination in mind then?
Not really. You know, we're old. You know, if we get our price, we'll just retire.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're looking to take your capital out of your house if you get the right price, it sounds like, and then just kind of make a move to wherever you feel, because you have all these options because you're retired now. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Now, was there an ideal timeline you were trying to achieve this by?
No. We just want our price. You know.
Gotcha. Okay. But if you could get your price sooner rather than later, then that would be something you'd be interested in.
I guess.
Yeah. Well, gotcha. Well, I appreciate your willingness to share that information with me. Now, I guess I'm just curious because, again, your house is nice. Did your previous agent, did they give you any specific reason as to why your house didn't sell?
They just said the market.
Oh, the market. Gotcha. Well, let me ask you, how did you happen to pick your agent?
Oh, I don't remember. I'm old.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your willingness to share that with me. You know, and a lot of times agents, they'll blame the market, they'll blame interest rates, things such of that nature. But I mean, you strike me as somebody who has a lot of common sense. You seem to understand the process really well. I guess, what do you feel like maybe they should have been doing so they could have sold your house? So you could have done something simple like take out that capital and enjoy retirement.
I don't really know. You know, I've been here, 40 years, right? This is my first home I ever bought. I don't know.
Sure. Well, and I don't know if you're aware or not, but while your house was on the market, there was 24 other houses within your price range within a few mile radius that have sold in the past several months. Were you aware of that?
No.
Yeah. So it's not a matter if people are buying and selling houses in your price range in your area. They definitely are. It's just a matter of why didn't your house sell? So let me ask it this way, because my job is to help you. It's never to talk you into do anything. But if you knew, like you said, if you can get the right offer, something that's very reasonable, acceptable to you, that would allow you to sell your home and make that move to your next destination within the next, let's say 30, 45 days, do you think that would be something you would still do?
Well, how much? We had it listed for 2 million and we didn't get any traffic.
For 2 million. Yeah. Well, you didn't get any traffic whatsoever?
We got like a little bit, but
Sure.
there wasn't much action.
Yeah. So that's what I'm asking. If you knew you could get that price that you were looking for 2 million, you think that would be something you would still do?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Well, can I make a quick suggestion to you, Jay?
What?
Yeah. So what you've been kind enough to share with me is obviously you're looking for a certain price on your house. You're not just going to give away the house, which I completely understand, and you shouldn't have to do that. So what I propose to suggest, and this is just because I'm in your area all the time, is I'd love the opportunity just to be able to pop by, take a quick peek at your house, and just see what it has to offer. And while I'm there, I'll share with you 2 things very clearly. Number one is why your house didn't sell, why you didn't get the exposure that you should have gotten. But then more importantly, number 2 here is what changes need to be made in a much more proactive and aggressive approach to ensure and really virtually guarantee your house does get sold quickly and efficiently. And I'll be able to provide you with a net sheet that'll show you the proceeds you and your family would be able to walk away with on the sale of the home. But then, Jay, no matter what you decide to do after that, you'd at least have all the most important information you need in terms of how you'd like to proceed. Does that sound fair to you?
Yeah, but I don't really want to meet with anyone. Like, unless you're going to bring me an offer.
Sure.
Right. Like, I mean, if you're open to bringing me offer, I would be open to considering it.
Sure. And I get it, Jay. Like, I'm sure you're probably frustrated with the entire process and your house not selling. And at this point, you just want an offer. And that's really the reason I reached out to you. I don't reach out to every single house that comes off, or every single owner of a house that comes off the market. I see your house. I see potential. I see that it should have gotten sold and it just didn't for whatever reason. So again, if we could take maybe 15, 20 minutes to where I can see the house and actually see it in person, because a lot of times pictures don't, do it justice. And then I can give you some really good information of what exactly needs to happen in order to get it sold, but not just get one offer, get multiple offers. So then that way you have the power in the negotiation. So if we were to meet, and I know, right now you're saying you don't want to meet with anybody, but if we were to meet, are you generally more available in the afternoons or in the evenings?
I'm retired, so I don't do anything.
Okay, so you're pretty available for the most part. Well, that's good. Good for you. I hope to be in your position one day. So let me see. I'm looking at my calendar, and right now I do have a 3 o'clock today or a 3 o'clock tomorrow. Would one of those work best for you?
Okay, sure. But can you take me to the Starbucks around the corner? I want to go there.
Yeah, absolutely. We can certainly meet at that Starbucks. And if you don't mind, I'd still like to do a quick walkthrough of your house, and then I could drive you up to Starbucks. Does that sound good?
Sure. And then I also need someone to help me move the cupboard. Can you help me move the cupboard over there?
Absolutely. Whatever you need, Jay. Now, and I'm just curious. So we'll go ahead. Was today at 3 then, or does tomorrow work better? Did you say?
Call me tomorrow.
Okay. Well, how about this, Jay? Because I see that your wife is she also on title? Is that correct?
Oh, no. She died.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry to hear that. So it's just you that's on title.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, let's do this, Jay. Let's go ahead and plan for 3 o'clock tomorrow. And then what I'll do is I'll call and confirm it in the morning just to make sure that time still works for you. If for whatever reason we need to switch it around, we can certainly do that. Does that sound good?
Okay.
All right, perfect. Well, I appreciate it, Jay. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Now, hey, I'm going to do a little homework prior to us meeting just because I want to make sure that I'm fully prepared to serve you best. So I have a couple additional questions to ask you, but I know your time is very valuable, so I will be brief. And then I would just go into prequel.
Great job. You just you're going to meet with a person that's going to take 4 hours of your time, I'm sure.
Yo, John, I had this seller, man. Like, holy shit. He would literally do that to me. Like, when I would show up, he would fucking sidetrack the conversation. He'd be like, yo, move the chair upstairs. Move the chair.
Yeah.
We've all done that, but I think it's a great realistic role play. And Scott is super thorough, knows his scripts almost verbatim, getting smoother each and every time I hear you, Scott. So, I mean, really good, man. Yeah. The one that I hear from my previous coach, Larry Kozak, when they say I have a buyer, do I have a buyer? Do you have an offer? That's exactly why I'm calling. I'm working with a lot of buyers and sellers in the area. So let me ask you this question. If one of my buyers wanted to see your home, make an offer, better yet, a cash offer, could you and I do some business together? Right? And of course. Well, that's exactly why you and I need to meet. So can I pop by this afternoon at 4:00? That's probably the easiest close. And I was at prospecting school. I was set 20 appointments a day doing that.
Really?
And then obviously, oh yeah, easy close. And then obviously you have to pre-qualify, and then half of them will fall out, and then half of that would actually show up to the appointment, right? And then you get like 2 or 3 contracts signed.
Yeah.
Right. So
can you run through that just real quick one more time? I'm going to record it.
yeah. Okay. So Scott, so you do want an offer, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. And that's exactly why I'm calling. I'm working with a lot of buyers and sellers in the area. So let's say hypothetically, one of my buyers that are looking in the area wanted to come and view your home, make an offer, better yet, a cash offer. Could you and I do some business together?
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Perfect. That's exactly what we will do today at 4:00. Do you mind if I pop by for about 10 to 15 minutes to talk to you about that?
Sure, that would be fine.
Okay, great. And before I come out, there's a couple of questions I need to ask you, and then you go and pre-qualify after that. But the main thing is to get your foot in the door.
Okay.
Just another possibility for a close. All right.
Good.
Hey, good stuff, guys. Who else would like to role play? Actually, Jay, do you have some feedback for Scott on the receiving end?
I mean, a lot of these expireds, right? Like, they're either not motivated because they want like too high of a price, or like too many agents call them. So, I think maybe get more to the point, because, well, you'll touch more of it in pre-qual, but maybe like see why he wants the 2 million, because like the only reason the property is not selling is because the price is too high. So I feel like instead of wasting your time meeting them, why not try to talk about the price now?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that, John?
Yeah, I mean, yes, of course, it's always about the price, but instead of just going about the price, because if people are motivated only by price, you probably don't want to go, right? First and foremost. But if there's another underlying motivation that you're not digging into, you're probably missing the point. So always motivation and time frame. If there's motivation and the time frame, you're going there. Doesn't matter what price. If their motivation level is high, you take the listing, they'll always reduce the price. That's for you, John.
Yeah, I felt like I probably could have dug in a little bit more on that motivation. You just kind of had me laughing a little bit about your reasonings.
Try me to Starbucks. That's dangerous for Scott, for a good-looking guy like you. All right. Good stuff. Who else?
I can do it. I can role play. I've been working on, I have another agent.
Okay, Consuelo, let's go with Ryoji. Why don't you be the seller? Let's hear it.
Seller for I have a friend.
I have a friend in the business. I have another agent. Yeah.
Who's gonna be my
Ryoji.
Oh, Roji. Roji?
Roji.
Roji. Sorry. Okay,
Okay.
Ring.
Hello.
Hi, is this Roji?
Yeah, speaking. Who is this?
Hi, Roji. This is Consuelo. And the reason for my call is I saw that your property at 123 Main Street came off the market. And I was just wondering, do you have any plans to put it back on the market? Maybe interview some realtors to help you sell it?
Yeah, we're gonna put it back on the market in about 2 months. We're just taking a little break, but we already have an agent, so I appreciate you calling.
Okay, so it seems like you already decided to sell it, just a matter of timing.
Yeah, we're just we didn't have a good experience with the other guy, so we're gonna hire someone else.
Okay, so basically you're just waiting to interview some realtors to help you sell it, or you're gonna go with the same realtor that you had before?
Oh no, we're going with a different person, but yeah, I think we've already met with him, and he seems pretty promising. So yeah, we're gonna probably go back in about 2 months.
Yeah, I understand that. And I mean, I saw the photos of your home. It's a really nice home in great area, great school district. If you don't mind me asking, is there any particular reason that you were even considering selling it?
Yeah, we're just gonna go back to Hawaii. We lived in California for 20 years, and yeah, we're gonna go back there. But again, we already have someone in place. I appreciate it. But if you have a buyer, you can always bring them. You can bring them on.
Yeah. Totally understand that. Wasn't Hawaii, do you have family there, or do you just want to kind of know another place, or it's for work, or what's bringing you to Hawaii?
Yeah, that's where I'm from, and I have family out there, so I want my kids to be close to my parents.
Yeah, so this is important. This move is important. It's important for you to get to Hawaii, yeah?
Correct.
Okay.
Again, if you have a buyer, you can bring them by. But yeah, I appreciate it. But I'm gonna go with Dave.
No, I understand that you have another agent and you want to go, and I don't know if you are open to this. What a lot of Saudi sellers do, they usually interview more than one realtors, just to have a different opinion in regards to price, commission, and marketing strategy. Would you be open to hear at least one more opinion, so this way you're making sure that you're making the best choice? I mean, I have time. I mean, what works better for you, mornings or afternoons?
Well, what are you gonna do differently?
Before you decide anything, let's do this. Let's meet. I'll show you why your house didn't get any offers and how I was able to generate multiple offers for my clients. And if you feel like everything that I say makes sense, then you can make a decision from there. How does that sound?
I mean, yeah, if everything makes sense, I may consider it, but I want to know what you do differently.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I wanna share with you. Once we meet, I wanna share how we do to help sellers just like you that had the house on the market for sometimes more than 6 months and they haven't been able to sell it. That's one of the things that I wanted to share with you when we meet. So do you have time maybe today at 3 p.m. or 5 p.m. works better?
Oh, today? Well, I don't know if I feel comfortable yet to let you. I don't know anything about you.
Yeah, Rogie, what I like to do, I mean, I want to have the opportunity to come and see your house, see what it has to offer in person. And once I'm there, I can tell you a couple of things very clearly. The first one, why the house didn't sell, right? The second thing I can tell you is what we need to do to be able to get it sold, and what we need to do in terms of more proactive and aggressive approach to be able to get it sold. And then I can show you an X sheet so you can see exactly how much you would get to buy to your new home. And then this way you have all this information that you need so you can make a decision that you feel is best for you and your family. So would 3 p.m. or 5 p.m. works better?
I mean, if it's 3 or 5 work better. Let me just talk to my wife and I'll text you back. Is that okay?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's important that you talk with your wife, right? Because, I mean, this is a big decision and we want to make sure that you're making the best decision possible. And I can see that you are very excited about making this move. How does she feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, she feels excited, we want our kids to be with their parents, so.
Yeah. So if you tell her that you find somebody who can show you clearly and specifically what you need to do to make this happen, do you think she would want to talk with them?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let's put it down for today at 5 p.m. It'll give you time to talk it over with your wife. If your wife is open and want to meet with me, great. If for whatever reason she decide not to meet, then we can cancel it or move her around. How does that sound?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, 5, we'll both be at home at 5.
All right. All right, Roger. I'm excited to meet with you today at 5 p.m. Thank you so much. And I guess I go to the prequel.
Beautiful. Great job, Consuelo.
I've been working on it.
Yeah, I
I
can
still
tell.
need to work on that.
Brilliant. Yeah,
could really
Roji, how
hear
did you
the-
feel on the receiving end? Any
Yeah,
feedback?
I could really see that she's been doing this scripts. So it's good. I like the way you handled, because I don't mean to be mean, but I think it was a realistic
No,
seller.
you guys can be as mean as possible. It's fine. I need to get better. So don't worry. Just tell me, okay? Well, the
But,
first
I
thing that I
also-
know is I need to work on my pronunciation. But other than that, I need feedback.
Yeah, at one point I did realize that you were so like into the script that you missed what I was saying. Because I said, I'm going back to Hawaii because that's where I'm from. And then you asked me, you know, is there a particular reason? Is it you have family out there? Like, I think that would have maybe turned me a little bit off.
Mhm.
But I can tell that because you were like thinking of what to say next, you kind of missed at one point.
Mhm.
But you kept pushing it, so it was good. You kept going for the appointment.
Yeah, no, really good. So yeah, just a couple points of feedback. Definitely, I think sometimes, obviously, the scripts are really, really good, and sometimes you gotta just correspond to what Roji is saying, to what the prospect is saying, just answer to that. And there's a few times where Roji was still speaking, so Consuelo, you have to watch, kind of stop yourself and just let them finish before you speak. Okay, so just
Okay.
watch that. And the other point, I really like the fact that you brought up, wouldn't you rather have multiple offers? I can show you exactly how I get my clients multiple offers or top dollar. It sounds very good, but it's very hypothetical. So why don't we make it like a real life example? Can you think of a time where someone was interviewing multiple agents, you got the job, and you actually got them more money? Can you, Consuelo?
Yeah.
Do you have any examples like that?
No.
No, you don't. Okay. Okay. But
No.
have you sold a property recently?
Yes,
Okay. Have you gotten in multiple offers or got them a lot more money than they expected?
I did, but it was it was a house for an investor, so I got a lot of. I got like 5 offers. It was
So good.
incredible.
Good. Very good. So I want you to use that real life example. Roji, last week we were able to help one of my clients, right, who was just thinking just like you, right? We got them actually on the market within a week. We got 5 offers on the table, and we got them $80,000 over asking price. I mean, by selling this home, I'm assuming you want to get the most money possible, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Right. And they'll probably ask you like, well, fuck, how did you do that? Well, that's exactly why you and I need to meet. Only take 10 to 15 minutes. It's absolutely free. And there's no obligation to sign the contract after you meet with me. So if you and I were to meet, when would you be available? Monday or Tuesday at 4. I would probably go with a real life example. It's called social validation. Okay. Instead of just talking about it, right? Talk about something that's real life. So that's my feedback for you. But anything else?
Thank you.
No, I think it was good.
Yeah, spot on, man. I mean, if you could do that on a real call, I think you'll get the appointment 100%. So great job. All right, let's switch it around. Roji, what would you like to work on?
I guess it's the same because I've been getting that a lot. I have a friend or I use the same agents type of deal.
Okay, perfect. Consuelo, be as mean as possible. Let's go.
All right. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hi, Consuelo, right? Consuelo?
Yes. Yeah, who's this?
Hey, Consuelo, this is Roji with the Kavinsky
Is this a
Group.
realtor?
Yes, I am another realtor, and I'm just
Yeah, I
giving a quick
don't
call.
want to talk with any realtors. I've been having a lot of calls. I don't want to deal with any realtor. I already told them I'm not going to sell my house right now, so please take my phone off your list.
Yeah, and I completely understand your frustration. I can hear in your voice that you're pretty annoyed by all these calls. So what I'll do is I'll make sure I take you off the list. But now, before I go, I was curious because your home is beautiful. I'm looking at the pictures online as we speak. Was there any particular reason you guys even consider selling the property at all?
Yeah, we were moving to Arizona, but as you see, you saw the house has been on the market for 6 months and it didn't sell. So, I mean, I guess the realtor wasn't doing his job. So we're just not gonna sell it anymore.
Yeah, I can understand how you feel that way. What's out in Arizona for you?
We have family there, and we just want to be there, living with them. Yeah.
Okay. So your plan was to sell this property, take the cash, go out to Arizona, be close with your family. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you're kind enough to share with me earlier that your agent wasn't doing a good job. I mean, when he was calling you each week for, feedback for the open house, I mean, what were the buyers thinking about your home?
Well, he wasn't calling. I mean, we literally didn't know.
Wait. You're telling me he was not calling you weekly?
Not at all.
Update?
No.
Okay, interesting. How'd you happen to pick this guy in the first place?
Well, our friends recommend him. They say he was really good, but I mean, he wasn't doing his job. I mean, honestly, I don't. That's why I'm so mad that realtors are calling me, because you guys don't even do your job. I mean, I don't know what you guys doing, but I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, look, I would be frustrated as you are if I were in your shoes. Now, let me ask you this. I mean, if you had the right price today, would you even consider selling it at all, or is the whole move to Arizona not an option for you?
I would, but do you have a buyer?
That's a good question. I do work with a pool of buyers. I may have someone that may match with your property, but I don't want to promise you anything without looking at the property. Now,
well, if you have a buyer, bring him in. If you don't have a buyer, just don't call me again, please.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. Now, you're saying that if I could get you a buyer, you would still sell the property. Is that correct?
Yes, bring me a buyer. I'll give you the 3% of commission. If you don't have a buyer, don't call me.
Gotcha. Shit, hold on.
You got it.
Hey, you use that close I gave you guys.
The multiple offer one?
Yeah, I'm working with a lot of buyers. If one of those buyers wanted to make a offer, better yet, a cash offer, could you and I do some business together?
Got it. So, Consuela, I know you're looking to still move to Arizona. Obviously, if the number makes sense. Look, if I have a buyer that can pay all cash on the property, could you and me do business together today?
I mean, do you think you can get me an offer like that? I mean, you can get a buyer?
Yeah, we work with a lot of cash buyers. Obviously, we would want to look at the property to make the numbers right. So, shit, I'm stuck.
Let's meet.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. So I'm looking at my calendar right now. I'm going to be in the area either today or tomorrow. Would that work for you? Would you be home around that? Today or
yeah,
tomorrow?
probably that works. But what is your commission?
What is my commission? I think you said you would pay 3% if I were to bring a buyer, correct?
Yes, if you bring me a buyer, but if you just want the listing, unless you have that offer that you said you might get me, I'm just not gonna list my home.
Got it. Yeah, it's a really good question. And I do have a lot of sellers that tell me what my commission is. The only thing is I don't have a set commission structure. Did you have a commission structure that you had in mind?
I'll give you 2%.
2%. Okay. Well, let's do this. Let me look at the house. I'll tell you what my buyers would pay for. And then we can decide what my commission may be. So would today work or tomorrow work better for you?
Let's do it today.
Today? Okay. When you say today, I have either 5 o'clock open or 7 o'clock open for you.
So let's do 5.
5 o'clock? Okay. So I'm going to book you in at 5 o'clock today. I just want to confirm the address 123 Main Street. Is that correct?
Correct.
Got it. And look, if I'm going to come out, I want to be fully prepared. So I just had a couple quick questions to ask you. Can I just ask you those now?
Is that really necessary? We can talk about it in my house if you want, because I'm really running out of time.
Got it. Yeah, we can meet at 5 o'clock and talk about what you're planning to do.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, good stuff. Hey, good practice, man. Good practice. Consuelo, on the receiving end, what would your feedback be for Roji?
I like how calm he is. Like he's no like rushing. I like that. But I guess more practice on the scripts. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a little bit smoother on the transitions and delivering the verbiage. Lastly, I think at the end when Consuelo said, "What's your commission?" It sounds like to me you want to net the most money possible. That's one of the first things we will talk about when I see you. So did you say 4 o'clock was good for you? And just go. Don't dance around that too much. You might get in trouble, right? If you talk about it too much. And at the end there, there's a couple of questions that I need to ask you. I want to be fully prepared. That's why I'm asking these questions. No, can't we just talk about it here? Don't let that go. Hey, you know what? The reason why I ask these questions is because we want to make sure that the meeting is going to be super efficient and productive. If we get through this right now, our meeting would probably only take about 15 to 20 minutes max. Would that work better for you? And then ask the questions, right? Because then you wouldn't be qualifying, and then you would just go on the appointment. You don't know anything about what they're trying to deal with, right? So those two things were my feedback. All right. Good stuff.
Got it.
Well, who else has some insights for Roji here? Or questions? Consuelo, anything else for Roji?
I had some feedback.
Yeah, go ahead, Mario.
So I like what you did, Roji. I thought so there was a point where Consuelo was like, all realtors are the same. And you're kind of like, and she was like, she has like a really bad experience with her last realtor, it seems like. So I felt like there was an opportunity to maybe add some value. And when she said that, what you said to her was, I completely understand. I don't know what you said to prove it, but then you went right into price. You said, what if I can get you the right price? Or maybe like another approach could be like, maybe asking a couple of more questions about it, and then maybe asking her something to the effect of like, well, Consuelo, it sounds like you believe that no matter what an agent does, that the home is going to still sell for the same price. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. So it also sounds like no matter what agent you work with, you think the home, no matter what an agent does, or you think what all agents do is the same. Correct? That's what you're saying? And then she says yes. And then you kind of can lead her into one of those like, well, what if I told you if that wasn't true? And then you lead her down that path, like list to sell price ratio, where you tell her like, my list to sell price ratio is this. If we can get you a little bit more money, would you consider meeting? I don't know. Just an idea.
That's a great point.
Yeah, that was an opportunity for sure. That's a great point, Mario.
Yeah, and then one last thing. Anytime you get stuck, I think it's just the way to go is just ask a little bit more questions around it, like just to buy yourself some time. Maybe and like let's just say, because it seemed like at the end she was giving you some sort of appointment, but like it was just to almost get you off the phone. So I would just like, if I felt that, I would just try to go back into the motivation or just try to find another way to get in and kind of break the ice there or break the ceiling there. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah.
True.
Good job.
Is that Richard?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you want to tell someone, let me tell you what you just said is not true. There's a philosophy which is if you want agreement, you agree first. So one of the things, if somebody says, because when somebody says all agents are the same, in linguistics, that's called a declaration. It means they're declaring something, right? They have some investment in saying it too. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll pace where they are, and it's like a pattern interrupt because they don't expect me to, and I'll say, absolutely, John. In essence, we are all the same because we're all licensed by the Real Estate Board, and we're all governed by the Business Brokers Act. I guess the only difference would be the results, right? And then you can go into that, whatever. There's a transition there. So you're agreeing to the essence of what they're saying first. On a global level, it's called chunking up, and then you bring it down to a specific level, and then you can tell them the difference.
That's beautiful. That's really great. I'm gonna take notes on that.
There's more, tons more, but that's
What's up, Richard? What's up, Mr. Dougal?
Who's that?
It's Ricardo Salazar.
Hey, Ricardo, brother. Oh,
Hey,
man.
yeah.
My best
What's
friend.
up, brother? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to give a little bit of feedback. Kind of goes into what Richard was saying, Consuelo, where I think where the role play partner was saying that like she didn't want to like list it, go through the hassle all over again. She was kind of expressing like her concerns with relisting the property, but she was also telling you that she wanted to sell it. And I think in that moment right then and there, you had the opportunity to do exactly what Richard is saying. It's like, look, I completely understand why you wouldn't want to relist the property, go through all that, you know, not get any communication and ultimately not sell. So like, I completely understand why you might feel like relisting the property might not be a good option for you. But let me ask you this, Consuelo, if I could, in essence, bring you an offer that was an acceptable offer to you, but without going through all of the hassle, without going through all of the headache, and you felt comfortable and confident that like, obviously, like you could still sell the property, is that something that you'd still be open to? So like level with her and then go into and get her to say yes. And then that would have been your entrance into trying to convince her, or not convince her, but sell her on like your tactics of selling a property and not just saying, hey, I'm going to bring a buyer. And then when you go to the appointment, you're doing a bait and switch where she's expecting a cash offer like a buyer. And now you have to pull the rabbit out of the hat. There would have been a smoother transition into like trying to get a legit listing appointment, or at least switching it over in the prequel.
Nice. Actually, I'll just continue. So what a really fast one, actually, you say, look, you know, continuing what I'm saying about there's a similarity, but there's a difference. I guess the results is you just tell them, and it really works. And you say, you know, there's agent A and agent B, and they're sitting in a real estate office. They're both working 45 hours a week, right? And yet one agent is selling 3, 4, 5 homes a month, and the one next to them hasn't sold a house since last October. What do you think the difference is? Try that, and people go, well, yeah, obviously there's a difference. So you got them right there.
That's a good
yeah, and then I even tell a story if I have to get more, because what you want to do, you don't want to shoot a little mouse with an elephant gun, right? Like, so you just you measure how much persuasion you want. If I need more, I use a metaphor. I say, my brother used to work for Al Palladini at the GM dealership. And there's a guy there that used to sell 25, 30 cars a month with walk-ins. And there's another guy that could hardly sell 2, 3 just to keep his courtesy car. What do you think the difference is? So I even use that. Everyone can relate to that. And they don't fight you on that one because it's right in front of them.
Got it.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Richard. All right. Great feedback, guys. Any last insight or last questions? Since Richard is here as well, let's pick his brain. Oh, well, Richard, what's your best objection handler for I already have another agent?
Mine's a little bit different than other people. Like in most of it, I use NLP and, you know, persuasion, conversational hypnosis. So what I've noticed is that when I see the role plays, and I've seen thousands maybe, is that what they'll do is they'll attack right away. And it's like we're conditioned to do that. So I actually assess the firmness of that objection within that person's constitutional voice. So they go, no, we have an agent, you understand? We're going back with him. Like that I'll treat that completely different. That if someone goes, well, you know, we're going to be talking to the agent, we're probably going to go back. I'll actually change my whole approach depending on that. So if they are, I'll give you one example. If they are really firm about it, then what I'll do is I'll skip past it and I'll put in what I call the Dougal closing machine white flag. I'll put up the white flag as if I've actually given up on the idea of getting an appointment, just to have a conversation. So I'll say, you know, they go, no, we are going back with the real agent. We told everybody, you know, and we're very happy with him. Like that kind of attitude. I say, terrific, that's excellent. So when do you think the property may come back for, you know, on the market so we can show it. You see what I'm doing? I'm aligning myself and I'm actually giving them a little bit of a benefit. And the reason why I'm asking, which you do when somebody is not so comfortable answering questions, you give them the reason up front. I've noticed a lot of people, role players, even coaches, they give the reason afterwards, but you've already lost them. I give it up front, so there's more chance they will answer it. Because you can actually assess, we all can if you pay attention, the resistance level of a client is a scale. So what happens is that now that I'm talking, and many of them do talk where otherwise they wouldn't. And I'm in an environment where other people are prospecting expireds, FISBO. So I see the difference. I see what they're doing with the same clients, by the way, because we pick up the number, I'm picking it up, and I see they're hung up, and then I'll get them talking. Not every time, but a lot of the time, because they're talking, oh, great, where are you moving to? And that blah, blah, and all that other stuff. Now I've got them warmed up. I've got a bit of rapport. I got a bit of a comfort level, with them talking to me. I made them feel good, give them some compliments, whatever, right? Like genuine compliments, and they're feeling like more open. Now I'm a human being. So I'll give you an example. The reason why we hang up on the guy that calls us from India or Thailand, to prospect us selling us whatever, we hang up, is that we don't see the person as being human. It's almost like an AI. Someone goes, hello, I call about your property, you call about your phone service. You interested in AT&T? And you go, hang up, right? People hang up because you're not humanized. So what we want to do is humanize ourselves. And I do hostage training as well and negotiation. I do really like heavy duty work with them in Virginia. So what happens is when you're held hostage, let's say you're held hostage in Iraq or whatever, you're a pilot. What you do is you humanize yourself with the guard. So you show, hey, you got children, and after a while, yeah, I got children, I got that. And what you find is the more you humanize yourself, the less they will want to hurt you. Even if they're instructed, you got to beat them up every now and then. They don't feel like they want to do it because you've humanized yourself.
Wow. In the age of AI and social media, you humanize yourself and you differentiate yourself. Richard, what a great insight for us here today. Guys, we are at time. Thank you for all the great role plays. Great job, everyone. Thank you, Richard, for all the insights. We'll come back here next Wednesday. Make it a great week. We'll see you then.
Richard, would you think about leading a call during the week, maybe one time a week, kind of like this? I mean, I love Richard, quite honestly.
He's on all of our calls, Thomas. So, just come to our calls.
Yeah, we can do something. Yeah, we can talk. Yeah, it'd be a pleasure.
I'll reach out to you, Richard.
Okay.
I love your stuff.
Guys.
Okay. Thank you.